Welcome to John and Dave TV. I'm John.
And I'm Dave. This show is to bring the community back together. We're going through a very hard time right now with everything, the self-isolation and everything else. And we thought maybe we should bring new skills or new hobbies to you in your home that you're able to do with us.
So make sure you join us on every episode where you can learn something new every time to try and help get you through this whole staying at home situation.
Today on a Dave and John show.
It's the John and Dave show.
Key tip is you got to clean it twice. So meaning that you need to get a good cleaner, not a window cleaner. So maybe take a little bit of Dawn dish soap, just a little bit, and put that in some warm water. And then you spray that on your all your windows, all on the inside, and wash it. And don't worry about streaks or nothing like that. Worry about just getting the main dirt off, right?
So, Dave, we're now in the studio. We got through our 10th episode, and I noticed coming in here today, because we're usually doing it at home. We're usually on our TVs or on our computers. Now we're actually driving in here and looking at my cars, and after rainstorms, luckily my car is really nice. What's your car's like? What condition?
Like the inside or the outside of my car?
Either or.
So the inside needs a bit of help for sure.
See, and the next guest we have will actually help you out with this. He had one of his crew over at my house a couple days ago working on my daughter's car. And so if you need a car cleaning, this is the guy you would call. But he's here to tell us about more than just car cleaning.
Oh yeah.
He does a lot more than that. So let's introduce our guest. We have Corey here from Poseidon Cleaning Services. Welcome, Corey.
Welcome. Thank you very much for that nice introduction. Holy
Exactly.
moly.
What's nice about it? Yeah. We're talking about how dirty my car is?
Well, yeah,
He's thinking ka-ching, ka-ching right now.
How much business I'm going to make off you two slobs. Holy moly.
Exactly.
So hold on, slobs, hold on. So I have 3 young kids, and I think everything they eat ends up on my seat or in the carpet, not in their mouth. I don't know how they miss their
That's
mouth.
my youngest daughter.
I'll take that back for sure. I often tease young families about how well they were bringing up their children, and they say, and they say, well, how come you know that? And I said, well, I found all 4 food groups on the floor of your car. So.
He knows all of our secrets. Yeah. So why don't you tell us a bit about Corey, a bit about how Poseidon Cleaning Services came about?
Okay, yeah. So myself, I'm originally from the area, of course, and myself and my wife, we'd moved away for a period of time, and we wanted to move back to the area. Mm-hmm. Job opportunities weren't as promising in my previous line of field. I was in the high-tech industry, so I decided to start this little mobile auto detailing business. And that was back in 2013, John. I don't know if, that's when
I knew you back then, and you were actually under a different company, and we won't mention that, of course,
So from there, it kind of morphed into carpet cleanings, which we do as well as another service we offer. We offer boat detailing. Anything detailing or cleaning oriented is what we offer. And the more we got into it, the more people saw the need for this around the area, and we got into mobile pressure washing, cleaning big trucks. I guess everybody's familiar around this area with the Miller Group trucks that go around and pick up the garbage. So we clean those on a regular basis for Miller Group, keeping them all nice and clean. And what else do we do? Yeah, so just recently we got trained for kitchen and exhaust hood cleaning in the restaurant business.
Oh, nice. Very cool.
Yeah. It was kind of screwy because we just got trained for that, and then COVID hit, and you know what happened with COVID in the restaurants.
Exactly.
So interesting. We keep hearing about how COVID affected different businesses and how different businesses. And you're not our first guest. We had Inner Strength Fitness that just opened their new location, and COVID hit. We had the boxing club that just merged also their location, and COVID hit. Yeah. We had the flower China Fe flower.
And hers actually went up with COVID because everybody's still ordering flowers for her business. Actually went triple.
How many businesses were just about to transform, and then this hits.
Exactly.
And how did you recover from that?
Well, how we recovered is that it took a big chunk of our business, really, not just the kitchen exhaust, because we were involved with other kitchen services as well within the restaurant industry. But luckily, we had some contracts with essential services, and they were able to keep us afloat, so to speak. In the beginning, it was pretty scary. Like for myself, I had an upper view of it, so it didn't affect me that much. But I had 2 younger employees who were really concerned about it, about their health, bringing the COVID home to their families, and they took advantage of the government services.
Were you able to work through COVID, or did you have to shut down like other businesses?
No, we were able to work through COVID by supplying some by supporting essential services. Yeah,
Oh, very cool.
Yeah,
Very cool. So get us more into, we'll start with car detailing.
yeah.
Somebody wants to get their car done. What
Okay.
are the different options that are available to them? Because I'm sure you have different package structures.
Yeah, so we have different package structures, and basically how it's done is it's mostly about the length of the service, how long it's going to take. So if you take a look at a small car versus a big SUV, that's going to take a little bit longer to clean an SUV. So with that, it costs more money. It's going to cost the user a little bit more money, and also the level of soiling in the vehicle. So a car that's regularly maintained is not going to take as long as, let's say, a vehicle that's been neglected for a while, or for instance that you have a very busy family. Like these days, it's very difficult for mom and dad are both working. They got running the kids around everywhere. Their vehicles get all filthy, and they don't want to be doing that on the weekend. They don't want to be doing that, right? So they need some downtime, and that's where we seem to help people out. And what's really advantageous about our auto detailing is that we come to you. So if you want to be out and about, you want to go out for the afternoon, do what you got to do, you can leave a dirty car and come home to a clean car type of thing.
Very cool.
And that's also very, another good people who like that type of thing is the people who are a little bit, in the retired age. They're not out and about as much, but they realize the value of their vehicle, and they want to maintain that value. They work their whole life to have these nice vehicles, and they want to keep them updated. So we get a lot of people who down on Crandall Street area and that kind of thing. They get us over there to come and clean their vehicles and stuff
Very
like that.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I know that you do a lot of fleets for things. I know, like real estate agents, we know one in our business group that we're in, and one thing I know they mention is they love it because they're in a profession where their vehicle has to stay clean because they're driving clients in their cars.
Yeah.
And I know he likes that you're coming to his business because he could be in the office making a sale call while you're out there cleaning his car.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden he's got to go, and boom, he's got a nice clean car to go.
That's so true, John. And we get that through all the professions. So not only the real estate agents, that we get the lawyers, the insurance people. They all take advantage of that service as
It's
well,
an image
right?
they have to
It's
uphold.
huge. It's huge image, right? So and people don't realize it's not my rule, but we do get judged. Right, we do. It's unfortunate that that's the way society is, but it's just the way humans are. And we only got 7 seconds to make that decision. And then when you're in a business where people are judging you,
On that first impression.
you want to make sure you have a good first impression,
Yeah.
and that's where this comes into play.
Definitely.
That's awesome. In life is so busy all the time, and I really like the fact you mentioned that you're coming to people's houses and you're doing it in their house, and then it seems really convenient to me. And to be honest, I hate actually going and having to clean my own car, vacuum it, and finding the time with it.
Yeah.
How like how do I keep the kids busy while I'm cleaning my car and not have to worry about them trying to tear down something or destroy something or actually it happened. My dear daughter's been on the camera right now, tear off a mirror off my car once because she thought, yeah, seriously, she thought she wanted to hang out or hang off of one.
Well, I know when Corey comes to do my wife's car, the first thing is nobody's allowed to eat in her car, nobody's allowed to drink in her car. Don't get that messy. She's
It's like getting your brand new car, you know.
You know what we get a lot from people is that I warn them. I said, "You sure you want?" I asked them, "Have you ever got your car professionally cleaned before?" No, I haven't. Well, just before, this is going to become a regular thing with you because it's addictive, right? And I did my wife's car, and she is forgive the word, but she's like the soup Nazi, but the car Nazi. She's just right at her, and you can't do nothing in her car.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about what makes you different, because there's other car cleaners out there and detailers. What makes you different than them? What separates you from them?
Well, what separates us from them is, it's been 2013. I think I mentioned before we started this is that I don't do a whole lot of marketing. So basically, my marketing is by word of mouth, and this right here is going to really help.
Yeah.
And we built our business by referral. check out our Google reviews or Facebook reviews. They're all, 4 or 5 stars. There's no lower number than that, and we pride ourselves on that. And the thing is, people, especially in our area, in the Renfrew County, Pembroke area, they work hard for their money. We're not in Ottawa or in the big metropolitan cities where jobs are very abundant. So, people work very hard for the money, so we want to give them that value, right? If you're going to pay that much money to get your car done, you want it done right, and that's our motto. You don't pay until you're 100% satisfied. And so that's part of it. Another part of it is, with the younger generation, they like to do everything from home. So they want that type of service. So you can go online, right onto our website, and you can book a car cleaning online. There's none of that back and forth saying, okay, when's you're going to be available? When's your time going to be available? Go online. You can see the schedule and see exactly what works for you, the consumer.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Awesome. So, I guess, I'm laughing because I already thought of my question, and then I'm like, what can we do for our viewers, to make it kind of like super interactive here? And one thing I hate about my car, and I hate about actually any car, my wife's car, anyone's car, is how dirty the window gets. And I'm wondering, now I'm going to put you on the spot.
Sure.
But what tip do you have for us to keep that squeaky clean window that, at nighttime you don't get blinded by the headlights coming up because all you see is fog and handprints or whatever else?
Right. So you know what? The hardest part with the window, with cleaning the window, is when you go to clean it. When it's dirty, when the window inside of the vehicle, you can imagine all these, excuse me, sorry about that. You can imagine that inside there, there's people breathing, it's all entrapped, and there's a nice even layer of dirt everywhere. As soon as you touch one little bit, you're kind of cleaning in spots here or there, right? You're removing that dirt, and it's very easy to see. And that's one of the challenges that we have is, right, when we clean it, we want it to be perfect, but there's always 1 or 2 spots that just troublesome for us. But the key tip is you got to clean it twice. So meaning that you need to get a good cleaner, not a window cleaner. So maybe take a little bit of Dawn dish soap, just a little bit, and put that in some warm water. And then you spray that on your all your windows, all on the inside, and wash it. And don't worry about streaks or nothing like that. Worry about just getting the main dirt off, right? And then after that, that's when you come back with, say, your Windex or your whatever home care glass cleaner that you have, and also a lint-free towel. So there's microfiber towels that you can get out there that are lint-free, and those are the ones that you want to use. So it picks up all the lint, and then it comes out nice and perfect.
Awesome.
So you have no excuse now.
No excuse. Clean windows.
Yeah.
Now we talk about the car. Let's talk about the home. So I understand you also do carpets. And you also clean carpets.
That's correct.
And you also do like couches. It's like can you come clean the studio couch and make it white again?
That's right. We can attempt to make this couch white. I know you two lads there on there drinking your coffee all the time.
Yeah.
But that's carpet cleaning. It's people wonder, and they also they say, is carpet clean? Is people still put carpet in their homes? Well, I tell you what, go up to Pitawa with all these new homes, they're putting them all in there as well. Yep. And the problem with carpet is that it's expensive. A good quality carpet is expensive, more expensive than the hardwood. So people don't want to invest in that. But once they do invest in those types of carpets, they want to maintain them. Yes. So that's where we came in. We want to help maintain them and keep that carpet looking clean for as long as we can, right? Yes. So we go in and do upholstery, which falls under like couches, sofas, ottomans, stools, recliner chairs, all your carpets for the interior of the house. Area rugs, we can do your area rugs while we're there. And that covers the interior of the house. We don't generally get in. We get a lot of questions about people saying, do you do any house cleaning per se? And it's not our wheelhouse.
You're not a maid.
We're not a maid. We get a lot of requests for that, and we can do it.
Yeah.
But the price point for that is going to be a little bit high for the average person, right?
Exactly.
So we kind of stay away from that. So that's what kind of we do on the inside of the house. On the outside of the house, which is becoming more and more popular in the area, people don't really know about it until they do a little bit of research. But house washing. So the exterior house, your vinyl siding, and your exterior eaves troughs. And this is particular in people who live in a shaded area or have a tree nearby.
Yep.
What happens on the side of the siding is that they'll get a growth on it.
Yep.
And they're like, well, what do I do with that? So, most guys, I'm going to go and pressure wash it, right? So they go buy a pressure washer and next thing you know, they're damaging the vinyl siding.
Yeah.
So there is a little bit of a technique to it and there's a little bit of know-how. And we've done all the research, we did all the training to get that done. And we can come in and get a house done, a fair-sized house done for a very decent price. People often think like, oh, it's going to cost me, $1,000. No. Most houses in the area here are like $200-300 to get them done. Your whole
Make
house
them look brand new again.
and makes them look fantastic. Fantastic, yeah.
It's interesting you also mentioned that because I've done that mistake. I had a house with aluminum siding and I decided to put a pressure because I noticed if I rubbed it, there's like the house was white and some white was kind of creaming off, and I said, well, I'll take the pressure wash, and I completely ruined my outside, and now thinking of it, having someone professionally do it, it's probably going to cost because it cost me a lot more than
To fix it in the long run.
than actually having it cleaned.
And you know what? Aluminum siding is very difficult to clean actually. So what happens with everything is that it oxidizes. It's slow burning fire basically, right? So it oxidizes. And anybody at home can go do this test, and they just take your hand and just push really hard on your siding, vinyl or your aluminum siding, and if you get anything that comes off on your hand, that's actually the material breaking down on it, right? It'll happen to your car, it'll happen to your boat, it happens, and that's the sun doing that. It's basically oxidizing it and breaking it down. And with vinyl siding, it's pretty forgiving, but when you get into your aluminum siding, it's not. And we warn people before, if we come across any aluminum siding, we warn them for, listen, we're going to be taking that white stuff off. It'll come off, but and we don't put any pressure washers in. But what happens is it comes off clean, meaning that if over on this side of the house it was a little bit more shaded than over here, you're going to have some discoloration, right? So what I recommend for people with that type of siding, what was applied on there before was a paint. Get it clean and paint it again. Get a good quality paint, go to the paint store, clean it up, make it look new again, and you're good for as long as the paint lasts again. Right?
Awesome.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know about where you live in Cobden,
Yeah.
but I know in Pembroke alone, people pay for their water, and it gets expensive on their bill if you're
Sure
using
does,
the
yeah.
sprinkler a lot, things like that.
But I
actually
don't
brings
pay for
his
it.
own water.
Yeah, I don't pay for it, but I'm on a well,
Yeah.
and there's a certain amount of water that you're able to use from a well before you run out of water. So yeah, actually.
So that's another advantage too. You bring your own water.
We bring our own water to all our jobs. Yes, John, that's correct. We do bring our own water, and the reason being for that is because we live in a rural area. For instance, if we were to go out to do a car in Rankin, out there they're going to have hard water in pretty much any area that has a well. So hard water on a vehicle's surface is not good. So it'll create some spotting issues, and they're not going to like that, right? If that happens. And also having a well for other surfaces, we can probably drain a well if you were to wash a house with it, right?
Yes,
That's
for
a
sure.
lot of water. Yeah. So just this week we're out on Biderman Road.
Yes.
Biderman Road out in, I think is it Round Lake? Round Lake, near Golden Lake. We're out there,
Alright.
and it's a nice new little subdivision, beautiful properties out there. These nice people, they get chad fly. Is that how you pronounce
Yeah,
it? Chad,
chad flies.
Chad flies off the lake, and they wait till the chad fly season's over, and we come and we clean their houses for them, and they look fantastic. Now, when we clean their house, if we were to use their water, and they ask, "Do you bring your own?" Yeah, because they're on well, they can't do that. We can't take water from the lake.
Sure.
This water, if it's hard, it's going to spot all their windows.
Yeah.
So we make sure that the water's pretty clean. And then after that, as an add-on service, we ask them if they want them pristine. You want your windows pristine after? We will actually rinse them with pure water. So it's
wow.
and we get that's a new service that we brought on this year.
Very cool.
To help out with window cleaning. So all these buildings and stuff that have huge windows that are high up into the air, you can reach them from the ground with our pure water system, make them look fantastic. Yeah.
Awesome.
So now we're going through his business.
Yep.
We talk about car detailing.
Yes.
We talk about cleaning the
Houses
carpets,
and
clean
carpets.
the outside of the house.
Yeah.
Now boats.
Boats.
Let's talk about boats.
Let's talk about boats.
I have this boat. I love my boat. I hate cleaning my boat. You know, any lake you put them in, and you leave it in for. And honestly, people ask me why do I not park my boat at the dock? It's because I get that gross grime on my boat, and I hate cleaning it after I take it out of the lake and all that. You know, thank God you clean boats. You know,
We clean boats, yeah.
but I'm curious. You know, your products, are they like especially now they want to put in the boat? The boat's going to go in the water. Are they environmental safe, clean products, or?
Yes, and in this day and age, I would say 95% of all cleaning products are pretty much environmentally safe. They've come a long way, not only for our environment, but for the workers as well, right? So if you're in this day in, day out, you want to have a good product that's safe to use, you know, for your people and for your boat. So yes, 100%, all our products are environmentally safe. No phosphates in them, anything like that. Now, given the fact that we do use commercial grade, so you have to be a little bit trained on. Just because it means that it's environmentally friendly does not mean that it isn't potent or it isn't dangerous, right? So you got to be careful using the products, and that's one of the things that we do is we train our guys, you know, to be safe around that stuff and be careful. You know, because if you're going to be washing down boats and cars every day, you want to be
Exactly.
safe. Yeah.
So you have guys that are like, they go through a training ritual basically, because I guess you don't want just some guy going for a summer job and you're just going to say go to this house and clean this or clean that.
Yeah.
So you have a good training program.
Yeah, so we call it like an onboarding program. So when people come and they work with Poseidon Cleaning Services, we give them a basic safety training, you know, a basic chemical training, how to use the equipment. And then the rest is, you know, that usually, depending on where they start, that usually takes about a day, sometimes 2 days. And then after that, it's all hands-on training. So they'll be mentored by somebody, you know, usually somebody who has experience. And in my line of business, because they're doing so many vehicles, so many on a regular basis, it doesn't take long for them to learn the ropes, so to speak, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So right now, we're in this. We're starting to come out of the COVID quarantines. Things are starting to open back up, but a lot of people, and I find from talking to a lot of other people, a lot of them are wondering, you know, how can I keep my house, my space clean and safe, you know, and prevent the spread of disease and infections and all that. And you know, since the show has almost come to an end, I figured let's talk about COVID and what people can do at home, and what other services you have also that can help people that, you know, like. I'm sure it's not just COVID, but you know, like a fleas or a lice infection in the house or an infestation. You know, is it services that you're able to provide and help out and how properly disinfect? I know I'm saying a lot, and I always do this.
Yeah.
Here it is. Here's your time.
So with that, we do provide a disinfectant service. So we have a unit that has it's called a fogging unit, basically, and we put the disinfectant in it, and then we fog it out, and basically it just, whatever it touches, it disinfects. Okay, and the disinfectant that we use is a hospital grade, so it kills all these viruses. With that being said, with the COVID, and I think you guys probably heard this on the news, that it's a lipid base. Lipid base is basically a fat base. So anything that has a degreaser in it is going to, you know, disrupt that lipid and kill it. So if you're thinking about, well, what at home do I have at home that's a degreaser? Your dish soap, right there, that's a cuts grease, right? You see it on the commercials, used on dish soap. So, and that was what you can use to wash your hands with, or whatever you want to do to help, you know, get rid of that virus. And it's just repeating what everybody else says. You got to be careful, be diligent, and make sure that all the surfaces that you think maybe have that virus on them.
Yep. Do you do beards?
Well, we can shampoo his beard. Yeah.
How's my beard keep coming back?
I don't know,
up?
but I know your wife was probably sitting at home watching this thinking that. So you're talking about trying to keep the houses clean and stuff like that. So if you guys had to do anything differently now that COVID's here with your practice, like the good thing about your business is you're around soap and water and that you're clean as it is. But is there anything you've had to do differently during this whole process now that it's a whole new normal, as they call it?
Anything differently? You know, we've added layers of protection for our guys. So, you know, when we're going into a car, you know, the car automatically, even before COVID started, when it leaves, it'll be disinfected. Even before, just because of the products that we use, it gets disinfected, right? But going into it, we got to watch our guys. So we want to make sure that, once things start to get clean, that they have their gloves on, and we provide all the PPE for them so they are safe. So that's a little bit extra something that we did. But in our line of business, when I'm doing it, I'm wearing gloves anyways.
Yeah,
even
exactly.
before COVID, because you never know what's dropped underneath the seat, right?
Exactly.
You don't want to put your hand into some chocolate bar or banana that's been underneath there for 2 years or something,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, definitely.
Yeah.
So, another great show. Thanks for coming today.
Well, thank you for having me.
One last thing I want to mention, it's how can people get a hold of you? How can we find you? Where you connected
they
on
book
social
you?
network? Yeah. How can we find you, find out about you? And
So we have a Facebook page, Poseidon Clean Services is up there. We have a website if you want to go and book online. So the online service that you can book online is auto detailing, carpet cleaning, boat cleaning, RV cleaning. You can book all those online. Our other services, commercial services, and house washing, you'll need to give me a call. And that can be reached at 1-844-922-5587. And also, check us out on our website.
And as he says, cleanliness is next to godliness.
Yes,
So maybe he can use you as the mascot with the beard and the whole staff and everything.
I'll be mascot anytime for any business. You just
Right
need to
on.
Contact me.
Well, thanks for being here, Corey. We're glad you came and helped teach us basically how to keep clean. And
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Wish you all the best and success.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.